Okay, this is BobRoss once again. This is my second game in my second round, I guess, or match in the Swiss tournament for regionals, the first of two. And this is a game versus Airact. He will be playing a Victor deck. That's Victor, using Knight of Unaxio. Kind of became popular in the first round of these, or in the first of these tournaments, and seemed like a pretty strong deck. I think it's a very strong way to play Victor, especially against mages, because that Unaxio can get buffed so well and be hard for mages, including Lois, to deal with because of that steadfast. And so it can really swing those games. It's not particularly strong versus Serena. Now, once again, Victor is another mid-range kind of hero. And the way that Victor wins against Serena is through card advantage and tempo. That Hunter's Gambit combo can really give Victor some nice card advantage, and the fact that he can play a Bobcat with haste all the time gives him some nice tempo. So if Victor can get ahead in cards and tempo, then he has a good chance of winning. If I can get ahead in those regards, then I have a good chance of winning. The one thing I know about Victor is, you can see there, I'm all set to sacrifice that Sorcerer of India. Why? Because I don't expect Victor to have any attachments or anything I need to get rid of. I don't care at all about the fact that Sorcerer of India is a 4/4 ally. Only want Sorcerer of India in there for that utility. Okay. So as I was saying, the way that Serena, especially this Serena deck, can win against Victor is by beating Victor in card advantage and tempo. And the thing to remember about Victor is that to get tempo, Victor actually needs allies. Okay. Now this is actually a misplay. Why is it a misplay? Well, look in my hand. I've got a Spirit Warden. Like, that Spirit Warden has steadfast, and it would just drop down, sit on that snare trap, and take no damage, right? Stay in play. The snare trap would go away. But I wasn't thinking, so I ditched an ally instead, right? One card advantage possibly lost. Okay, and get rid of my fleet-footed messenger, put a black garb into play. I'm holding on to that Nightshade now and the Spirit Warden. My hope is that, look, Victor has a hard time dealing with Nightshades. If I can get Victor to waste ally removal on my Nightshades, my Spirit Warden will be safe. If I get Victor to waste ally removal on the Spirit Warden, Nightshade will be safe. Right? Either way, I win. Okay. Don't need that backstab right now. Got two Spirit Wardens, and they played another Snare Trap. So even though I misplayed before, I'm actually in a good place. Got rid of a Snare Trap there. I'm doing all right. Okay, let's see what happens here. So right now, Victor could use the ability to take out my Spirit Warden, but he doesn't. He turns that little Zaylin Crusader into a beast, 5/5, right? That should be scary, but it actually makes me happy, right? Because in terms of card advantage, that's not great. That is 3 cards sunk into 1. Now the Treasured Heirloom, of course, will give back 2 cards, but that's still not great. That's 3 cards for 2 that I can destroy easily with my black garb. Instead, I went directly for Victor. I want to take out his card advantage, and it looks like it paid off. I got a nice little Bobcat in return. Victor's only got 3 resources. I've got 5. So I'm ahead in terms of resources. I'm ahead in terms of cards in hand. And Victor just played another Snare Trap, which is perfect for me, because I've got another Spirit Warden in hand. Okay, we milled something. I didn't get to see what it was, so I want to check. Okay, I'm alright. Get another Spirit Warden out. Now Victor will probably have to use that ability. That's fine. At this point, I am way ahead on tempo. And I'm doing okay in terms of cards compared to Victor, even though I haven't gotten my ill-gotten gains yet. So this game is looking pretty good for me. It's going to be hard for Victor to take out both of my allies with that ability. The only way to really do that would be with Poison Arrow. And Poison Arrow would lose him some card advantage, so. And we see Soul Seeker instead. Okay. Oh, that is a complete waste of Victor's ability, right? But needed to do it, right? Because can't get too far behind in tempo. And board presence. Okay. We've got some nice cards in hand. Not going to resource anything because I want to be able to use them all. We'll see what I can steal. Oh, and it's a Zaylin Crusader. That's nice. Yeah, might as well play that Zaylin Crusader. Get it out there. Get a little freebie backstab while I'm at it. Take down Victor. I never hesitate to use those backstabs when I've got them. It's just free damage. I get another card in place, and usually those other cards are useful too. Okay, we got another snare trap out. Now Victor's top decking. That is not a good place for Victor. Victor can do something with it, but this particular time, Victor doesn't even have any hunter cards in graveyard. Looks like Airact got a little unlucky in this game, getting a lot of snare traps and no hunter's gambits early on when he needs them. Another Soul Seeker. Well, this will help a little bit, but Airact is still going to be not doing great in this game. And looks like I got an answer to that Soul Seeker anyway. Now you notice I have this Bobcat sitting in my hand. Why am I not playing that Bobcat? Well, because as soon as I play it, Victor can kill it, and then he will be able to get it back with his ability. It'll take him a while to do that, I guess. But might as well hold on to it. I don't really need it. I'm not in a rush to beat Victor down here. I actually just want to stay on top of him. And finally that Hunter's Gambit comes out. Okay, so I'm ahead on the board. I'm ahead in cards. I can kind of take my time here. If I don't give Victor allies to kill, he won't be able to use that Hunter's Gambit. And now look, I've got the Gambit / Bobcat combo and enough resources to use it. So that's very strong. But I decide to go with that instead. Just clear the whole board while I'm at it. Maybe the Bobcat would have been a better move there, but I was ahead enough, it didn't really matter. And now I'm protected from any kind of haste. Oh, I can take that out pretty easily. Get another thing. That was a bit of a misplay. Normally, when you're going to draw a card, you don't want to play the cards in your hand first. But if you notice there, I had 6 cards in hand. I should have played 1, the Nightshade, first, then attacked, so I would have drawn 2 cards. So it was a bit of a misplay there. Again, I'm not perfect. I'm not a amazing player. I make mistakes just like everybody else. I'm going to try to do as best I can. Okay, there's many options here for how to kill that. I can just attack it, let it die on my black garb. But this way is actually the best way to do it. Why is it the best? Because I get a mill, right? And it looks like I took out a Hunter's Gambit by doing that. I could have assassinated it, and that would have been fine, but I'd rather hold on to that assassination for a time that I really need it, if I ever need it. Probably won't in this game. And I managed to preserve my black garb, which might be useful later. So all in all, that was probably the best way to do this. Okay. I don't need that ill-gotten gains. I'm going to go ahead and use that assassination now on the Knight of Unaxio. That is the toughest guy in this deck. Get another card. Damage that Champion of Irem. And I am all set. Now I'm in a great position here. I'm all set up. Victor's got no shadow energy. Got lots of ways to deal with threats. There's really no losing this game at this point. So you can see how by switching between solo mode and allied mode at times that are inconvenient for Victor, right? When Victor wants allies to kill, to draw, they're not out. When Victor wants to have an empty board to play allies and dominate, then I've got my allies out. You know, I try to just keep control at all times and keep ahead of Victor in terms of cards and in terms of my tempo. And that's what I've done in this game. Okay, I'm a Zaylan Crusader. Don't need those ill-gotten gains. Why don't I need them? Because at this point I am so far ahead in tempo, even if this Victor has some way to deal with them, which I don't think he does. But even if Airact did have a way to deal with ill-gotten gains, I don't care at this point. I'm going to win with or without any extra draw. And you can see Airact acknowledges that that is the case. And it's a game over, a win for me.